All right, from a pop-up in East Hollywood less than 6 years ago to what's now the fastest growing restaurant chain in the country. Dave's Hot Chicken was built on a pretty simple premise of exporting the Nashville heat everywhere while spicing things up on social media.
No one loved hot chicken more than my friend Sam. And this juicy, hot, spice to order Dave's Hot Chicken would have been his favorite of all time if it wasn't for his other passion, driving with his head out the sunroof.
Stick your head out, Wiggles!
Wiggles, no!
Please don't mess up and die before you eat Dave's.
Speaking of spicy, with us now, Dave's Hot Chicken CEO Bill Phelps and co-founder Arman Oganesyan and Brooke DiPalma. Nice to have you all here. So let's go back to 2017. There was KFC, there was Chick-fil-A, Wingstop, BWW. What was it lacking, Arman? Why did you feel like the time was now to start this chain?
I feel like what was lacking was maybe quality. I mean, me and the other founders were really big fans of fried chicken. I mean, we ate it everywhere we went. But we couldn't really find like this really good quality chicken that was available everywhere, not just in, smaller markets. So the idea behind it was to create really good quality chicken that we could expand across the country and kind of maintain that level of quality.
And Bill, the hashtag Dave's Hot Chicken has more than 150 million views. That one we just showed has more than 4 million views. How does that translate, you think, to the bottom line?
Well, it's the most efficient marketing tool kind of ever invented. Is the social media platforms of Instagram and TikTok give new brands like ours an ability to get incredible reach at very little cost. Most of that 150 million views you talked about are user-generated content. So you have guests walking into restaurants and filming the restaurant and the product, and that's what's our primary marketing tool. So it's an incredibly efficient way to go to market for a young company.
And Bill, I want to stick with you here for a quick question on your growth plans. From 2021 to 2022, you went from 40 to 102 locations. Now you have plans to develop 700 locations. Who exactly is funding this aggressive growth plan, and how does this compare to your previous ventures at Blaze Pizza and at Wetzel's Pretzels?
Well, Wetzel's Pretzels, Rick Wetzel and I knew nothing about franchise when we started this, so we grew at a very slow rate, but we learned the business from the franchisees. And then Rick and Elise Wetzel came up with Blaze Pizza. I co-invested with them, and they did everything right. They brought in a great team, and they were able to grow really quickly. I think they got up to 84 restaurants in a single year, and that was the fastest growing restaurant chain. And then we took their playbook, and we did that here, and we are opening about 85 restaurants this year. We'll probably hit a pace of 100 to 120 in the next year or so.
Let's talk about the hours that these locations are open. Here in New York, your location is open from 10:30 to about 11 p.m. at night. Now, you started as a late night pop-up tent, but how are you supplying, or rather getting labor to stay open that late? And ultimately, when wage prices or wage pay is going up, how are you able to fulfill that?
Well, Dave's is kind of a fun place to work. And it's always hard to find good people in this industry, but our franchisees are incredibly experienced and very resourceful, and they brought in great employees into the industry. And we create an environment that's fun, and so we have much less turnover than your typical fast food place, which is great.
Arman, obviously the food is at the core of everything you do, and I'm going to try this here for the first time, very excited. But how much of building this has been about building a business, building a brand, Arman? How much of a brand is this versus just a restaurant?
I mean, it's interesting to say that, because the way we always thought about it is if you kind of focus on what you're specializing in, which is food for us, then the brand aspect will almost come to you, right? If you just focus on producing really good food, like people are going to love it, people are going to come back, they're going to swear by your brand. And before you know it, more people are going to know about your brand. And before you know it, it's big. But it comes down to the food. We're in the food business, so it has to be about the food. The food has to be good because that's what brings people back in through the door.
And I want to follow up on a question on that. Your menu, while it has a few different items, and particularly is related to some tenders, some chicken sandwiches, fries, as I have right here, I want to hear first how exactly you're able to push through any shortages you might be seeing on the menu. But in addition to that, who are your biggest competitors?
Competitors-wise, I mean, you always have your big chicken competitors like, the Chick-fil-A's and the Raising Cane's. But again, we like to focus on our food. We like to focus on, our customer. And the reason we do tenders only is for that reason exactly, so we can maintain a high quality food while still having a high output level. We can see a lot of customers and we know they're either going to order a tender meal or a slider meal, and both of them involve a tender. That way we can kind of prep it and cook it as it's ordered and kind of not keep it under heat lamps and not have it be pre-made. And that way everybody's getting a fresh order as they come in.
The sandwich is perfect. Bill, last question. Celebrity investors like Drake, Michael Strahan, Samuel L. Jackson, how helpful has that been in getting the message out?
Oh, it's just fabulous. There you get big stars that have incredible following. I think Drake has 125 million followers on Instagram. And so when he posts something, a story, the following is just incredible. I think we got 30 million views of a post he did about free chicken on his birthday. And you can't buy that kind of exposure through traditional media. So it's a great vehicle for us, and it's worked really, really well.
An amazing success story. Brooke, what do you think?
This is very good. I have to say it's juicy. It has lots of spice, and the coleslaw, I guess kale slaw, you guys say?
Kale
Yeah.
It's very tasty.
It is delightful.
Love it.
Really appreciate you being here, Bill and Arman. Check out Dave's Hot Chicken coming to you soon.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Cheers.